We have gone ahead and orbited Mars when no one thought we could with mission Mangal, and now with Moon Mission 2 or Chandrayan 2, India proposes to go where no other space mission to the moon has been before, that is to the south pole of the moon. And this is the satellite launch vehicle that's going to propel the lunar composite module up there and onward towards the moon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GSLV Mark III, India's most powerful satellite launch vehicle that is going to power the lunar composite module onward towards the moon. It's capable of launching 4-ton power load. That's what it can do, a payload of 4 tons. Now, the liftoff mass is 640 tons. There are 13 Indian payloads on board the GSLV Mark III. What happens once the liftoff happens, once it takes off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota? 3, 2, 1, and then you have liftoff, ladies and gentlemen. At the liftoff stage, the liftoff will be, like I said, from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. Once the liftoff, within minutes of the liftoff, the first stage will separate. The strap-on rocket boosters will separate. The second stage rocket will ignite itself. That will further propel the vehicle out of the Earth's orbit and into the outer orbit. The payload fairing will separate, and that's when the cryogenic stage will ignite. And the cryogenic stage, the second stage rocket will separate, C-25, third stage will ignite, and that's what will take the composite lunar module out into the outer parts of the Earth's orbit, from where it will start circling the Earth in concentric circles, and then with each circle it will move away, further away from the Earth and closer to the lunar orbit, and then it will have the transfer. The time to reach the landing site on the moon from liftoff is 54 days from the time of liftoff. 54 days. This is what it will do. It will run around the Earth in concentric circles. With each circle, with each spin, it will move out of the Earth's orbit and move closer to the moon's orbit, and then it will transfer into the lunar orbit, and then it will orbit the moon and identify the right time, somewhere around 54 days, where it will land between 2 huge craters near the south pole of the moon. There you go. As it enters the lunar orbit, the module gets captured into the moon's orbit as it moves out of the Earth's orbit and then it's pulled by the moon's gravitational force. There are maximum landing sites towards the center part of the moon. That's where most of the space nations have sent their moon missions, but India is going where no one else has gone before. We are in search of water, helium-3. And who's going to help us do that? It's going to be the Vikram lander that will attempt to land on the moon's surface. The Vikram lander, somewhere around day 54, will choose the right time and the spot. And there is an alternative spot too, where it will attempt to touch down on the moon's surface. And once it's touches down on the moon's surface, there you go. That's how it's expected to land down. The ramp will open up. The landing site is at 70.9 south, 22.7 east, 600 meters from the south pole. Is the first landing in this region. Now the ramp opens, and there you will have the Pragyan rover rolling out. The Pragyan rover is the size of a suitcase, an average suitcase, ladies and gentlemen. But this is going to collect samples, it's going to collect video feeds, it's also going to see not just the surface of the moon, but also what lies under. It's going to explore all of that. Most importantly, it's going to tell us whether there is ice on the lunar surface, whether there is water, what is the possibility of life on the moon. So that is the objective. This is where we hope to be 54 days from now. Moon Mission 2, India's ticket to sit right next to the superpowers of space and tell the world we are with you too.